Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. All right, so we're doing this video on an issue that I had with my vehicle a couple of days ago. Now, I haven't ever had any issues with this car until probably recently. I had the battery swapped out maybe like 6 months ago. So basically, if you guys are in this situation, you guys definitely want to check out this issue. And I did get this issue fixed, but let me just tell you guys what happened. I was driving my vehicle to a Wallbounds to get some cherry ice cream. I had a craving for cherry ice cream, Friendlies. Anyway, I parked my car, obviously, got the ice cream, came back out and tried to start it, and all I got was everything worked. All right, the remote worked, everything worked. All the lights came on the dash. It was just a click. Had a click and a no start, a no crank. If you guys are in this situation, I'm going to tell you guys how to fix this issue. I'm going to keep this as short as possible for you guys out there who are trying to find a fix for this issue. So basically, I was thinking to myself, okay, let's just go down the list of stuff to look for in situations like this. All right. If you guys have this situation where you guys have power, there's power everywhere. Now, there's a good chance, there's a chance that it could be the battery, but chances are if you guys have power, it's probably not the battery. Particularly if you drove it and then you parked it and then for a short period of time. Right, this is not one of the situations where you left it overnight, you left it for a couple hours, may have left the lights on. But if you guys want to check out whether it's your battery or not, guys can go out, check out the headlights, see if they're bright. Turn on the headlights, see if they're bright. If they're bright, chances are it's probably not the battery that's the problem. Now, if your headlights are dim and you can't actually see the headlights, or if you turn on your headlights and you see a lot of the features in the vehicle, the dash or whatever, start dimming, there's a good chance that it's probably a problem with the battery. Now, I did say that I swapped out the battery I believe a couple months ago, so I didn't think that was the problem, but I opened up my hood just to make sure, because if you guys are in this situation, you guys definitely want to make sure that the terminals are tight and there's no corrosion on the terminals. A lot of times, even if you guys have a good battery, that could cause issues of your vehicle not starting because of the bad connection between the cables and the battery itself, or causing charging issues where the battery is not being charged by the alternator. So if you guys are in this situation, you guys definitely want to just wiggle the cable just to make sure that that it's not loose. Want to make sure that's tight. Want to make sure that there's no corrosion on the cable themselves or the batteries. I've seen these situations where a lot of people just do not care about the battery. It's all corroded. There's white bluish stuff on the battery itself, on the cable itself, on terminals itself, causing a lot of electrical issues. But that wasn't the problem with this situation. Like I said, I swapped it out a couple months ago, cleaned the terminals, but I just want to make sure that it was tight, and it was tight. Okay, the lights are bright, it's tight. Gonna skip over the battery. Probably not the battery. You guys are in this situation. That's how you guys can analyze, just to make sure that it's not the battery that's the problem. Okay, so also, you guys want to also check, if you guys can, the negative cable. If you guys don't know what the negative cable is, the negative cable actually runs from the negative of the battery to the frame of the vehicle. Sometimes if there's corrosion, sometimes if the cable for whatever reason is frayed or I've seen situations where rats have like gnawed through the negative cable. I've seen situations where there's multiple negative ground cables, and one of them, particularly on a Chevy, one of them was disconnected, but the main cable was connected. It caused a no crank, no start. Okay, so that cable had no issues. The main cable had no issues. So I was gonna move to other things that could cause this particular situation. Now, if you guys don't know anything about cars and you guys think, well, it could be the alternator, it's probably not the alternator that's the issue. Particularly if your battery is charged up, it's probably not the alternator that's the issue. Okay, so we're just gonna do a quick pass on that. Now, okay, now let's go to the other things that you guys could look for in the situation, which I did think about. The key fob. All right, a lot of people don't know about this, but on new cars, if your key fob battery is dead, it will deactivate your car and it will give you a no crank, no start situation. On newer vehicles, on older vehicles, you would get a crank, no start situation with a dead key fob battery. Now, if you guys have a push start and you guys think this is the issue, what you guys can do is take the remote itself and essentially use the remote to push on the push start. You know, and if it is a dead key fob battery, you could actually start the car that way. If you guys have a regular key with a key fob for the doors or whatever, and you guys run into this situation, you guys think it's the key fob. Well, let's be honest, a battery is like $5. If you guys are anywhere around, 7-Eleven sells these small batteries, AutoZone, Advance Auto, Walmart, whatever. You guys could actually pop into any of these stores and get a small battery, pop in a remote, and see if that actually works for you. All right, I'm not quite sure how it works on this car, whether you get a crank no start or a no crank no start. Very, very new cars these days actually give you a message that the key fob has an issue or the key fob battery needs to be changed out. I'm not quite sure if this is the situation with this car, but the battery was changed out like 6 months ago, I remember. So I really wasn't gonna go through trying to change out the battery. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't die out within 6 months. These key fob batteries will last you a good 4 or 5 years, whatever. And I will tell you that a lot of times these key fob batteries do cause no start situations. And I was also trying to figure out what the situation is. Now, I will tell you that I did have a lot of things plugged into the 12 volt. All right, I had the charger, and I was charging up my battery pack. I was charging up another battery pack and a small tablet that I had, and this was all through the 12 volt. If you guys have this situation, a lot of these new cars have the electronics connected all over the place, so you guys don't know exactly what's gonna cause these situations. But if you guys have something connected to the 12 volt, what you guys want to do is you guys want to take the 12 volt connector off and then try to start the car. I've had that situation come up with a Prius where that happened, but it doesn't normally have to be a Prius. It could be any newer car, hybrid, non-hybrid. If you guys have something connected to the 12 volt and it's just eating up a lot of electricity, you guys want to take it off and see if that's causing the issue. There's a chance that could cause the issue, but it wasn't the thing that was causing the issue on this particular vehicle. So I was thinking about what other things could cause it. I remember that there was not a check engine light. If you guys think there's a check engine light, if you guys had a check engine light, you guys think the check engine light would cause this issue on your vehicle, I will tell you that with a no crank, no start, chances are it's not the check engine light or whatever code that comes up the check engine light, of any of the sensors that could cause this issue. And I'll tell you why that is, because all the sensors essentially are connected to components of the car that's not that's not connected to a no crank no start. If you guys have a crank no start, then you could it's possible that any of those codes could cause a crank no start situation. A no crank no start situation is probably something related to the fuse, the relay, or something electrical, the battery, etc. One of those electrical things. It's probably not going to can be connected to any of the mechanical sensors of your vehicle, because obviously your vehicle, it would cause your vehicle not to run, but it would you would still have a crank, because the starter would still crank, but the rest of the vehicle, whatever is causing it, will not allow the vehicle to run. So let's just move on to other things that could cause this situation. And I'm going to keep this real short for you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys are in this situation. It's a stressful situation. You guys are probably trying to get to the fix as soon as possible, hoping that there is a quick fix. And keep in mind, guys, there is a good chance that there is not a quick fix to this, particularly if it's the starter, which happens to a lot of vehicles in this particular situation. But fortunately, it's not. Now, I'm going to give you a quick a runaround on this if you guys have a starter situation. All right. Now, I will tell you that it wasn't my starter that was causing this situation, but if it is a starter that's causing your situation, and you went through all the analysis, it's the starter, this situation, you guys could theoretically, if you guys can get the starter, some starters are above, it's under the hood, some starters are under the car itself, and you guys sometimes could get to the starter depending on which vehicle you have. You guys can knock the starter off like a hammer or something, a heavy stick or something like that, and get something to knock it once or twice, and you might be able to get it to start instead of having to wait like an hour and a half for a tow truck. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to what resolved my situation. Okay. And I will tell you that that in this situation, I thought maybe it was one of the fuses, because a lot of fuses could cause the situation. The ECU, ECM fuse, obviously, any kind of fuses that's connected to ignition, the relay itself. Now, I know you guys are probably frustrated at this point because you guys want to get to the quick fix, but go through all the lists that I went through trying to analyze this situation. It'll definitely help you guys out to analyze your situation, all right? So went to the fuse box, looked at the fuses. Chances are, if you guys are in this situation, you guys won't have a fuse tester. You guys want to make sure that there's any kind of anything that's burnt on top of the fuses, that you guys want to replace that fuse. But in my case, I looked all around, no burn smell. The fuses seemed to be all good. So I was thinking to myself, what's the other thing? The other thing would be the starter relay. All right. So I immediately went from the fuses to the starter relay. I couldn't go through all the fuses. I looked at it by eyesight just to make sure that all the fuses were good. Check to see the important fuses that could be connected to the starting ignition components of the vehicle. Didn't actually see much as far as any fuses that were blown. So went to the relay itself and got to where the starter relay was. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? It was a strange thing because I did hear a click. Normally that click is to either the starter or solenoid on the relay itself. Now, sometimes you might be able to hear a click, and it could still be the relay itself that has issues. Most of the time, if you don't hear a click at all, chances are it's probably the relay that's the issue. If you do not hear a click at all, every once in a while, if you hear a click, you still would want to just check out to make sure that the relay itself is not the problem. Okay. I tried to figure this out by swapping another relay. I forget what the relay was, and it was essentially the same relay as a starter relay. I think it was the blow motor for the vents. Swapped it out, and immediately the vehicle started up. And at that point, I knew it was the relay that was the problem, even though the relay was technically working. It turned out that the relay was the problem. For whatever reason, there's some problem with the relay, and got it started, drove to AutoZone, got another relay, and popped it in. Yeah, I took that relay off, popped it into where it came from, the blower motor, and then popped in a new relay for a starter. And I haven't had any issues ever since. So that's the entire layout of what you guys could look for in this kind of situation. I really hope I helped you guys out. I know it was a little bit longer than normal, but it's really no way to actually get to a shortcut in trying to analyze problems with your vehicle, because there's so many things that could actually cause this situation. It's not like a one thing, one of those one thing issues, you know. But in any case, I hope this has helped you guys out. I hope, you know, whatever your situation is, you guys didn't need a tow truck, and you guys may have had the relay problem that I had. But in any case, please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Appreciate your time, guys. Take care.